It is over. Why did you help me? I suppose I should feel odd. I have to admit, I did not see this coming. I always had the feeling. I suppose it is because of all my... Still, that he kept his memory despite the transfer is... Perhaps I should not have been so quick to give up my research. No, but as I said, maybe that was simply because of all these years on this world, and yet I am still prone to human... How do I feel? I assume saddened is the right word. But Therail was always like... Brother Sorrow had little to do with the boy whom Therail loved. But still, that he killed... Well, maybe it's for the best. No. Had it been up to me, you made the right decision by siding with me. I do not think you have any idea how long I've waited for this day. Now, we will proceed as planned. I will open the portal and gather my lambs. Then we will open the... I feared you would say, please forgive me. I cannot risk you interfering with the last step, even if this is not your intention. You will awaken when the deed has been done. Are we all here?
Yes, Father.
Good. Relaine, the time has come. Liberation awaits us.
And you're certain you want to let her live?
Yes, existence is punishment enough. Farewell, and thank you.
Peralta, Shara.
Move along. Move along.
I'll judge you for this!
More illusions!
Interesting.
No, no, what have I done? What have I done?
You disappoint me, Thero. Anger has always been your biggest weakness. Now look at what you've done.
What? But we...
Do you really think 400 years taught me so little? Are we all here?
Yes, Father.
Good. Relame, the time has come. Liberation awaits us.
And you are certain you want to let them live?
Yes, existence is punishment enough.
They are gone. Gone. It was there when the father opened the gate. I don't know. All for nothing. All for nothing. How should I know? Maybe they did. How do I feel? The father achieved his goal. I learned that I'm one of his creators, and I killed my brother, who I killed Letho. Yes, I do. I know. The children. He didn't give a damn about them. And even as it is, just look at Letho. Sometimes it's better to die. I don't know. But I know that he was right about it was about having something to fill that deep black hole within me. And that doesn't justify what I've done. Familiar words. The only person who was important to me is dead. So help me. Fine. Where can I go? I can't stay in the Undercity, not after all that's happened. A house. Give me a moment on my own.
Some people just don't know their past.
Bloody rats. Eating the last penny right out your pocket.
Some people just don't know their path.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. Boring.
The bloody wench thinks she's Vata incarnate. She'll get what's coming to her. Soon.
Please, I'm so hungry.
You're right. As if you actually mean
You're not from here, are you? I heard you talk.
Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy city. Many of you may have heard it already. There's war in Kira.
Hungry for arcane secrets?
Well, in an act of limitless cowardice, attempted to storm the palace of the Golden Queen. By that, they have not only defiled the grandeur of the merciful Golden Queen herself, but also that of the Lightborn Children, keeper of the writings, the eternal timeless.
I've got just what a weary traveler needs.
Even though the guards of Al-Rashim, with an exemplary act of bravery, prevented their foul attack, their lies have already poisoned the minds of those without virtue.
Not as if I didn't tell them that already.
Countless murderers, cowards, and criminals joined their so-called cause, and now fight against the reign of the Lightborn in the streets of the Grand City.
Fruits, vegetables, bread
So let
fresh
us
from the
pray,
oven.
men
Treat
and women,
yourself.
children and elders. Let us pray for our brothers and sisters across the Red Sea. Let us pray for Saldrin and the Golden Queen.
Just where did I put it? Potatoes, garlic, radish. Potatoes, garlic, radish.
Hungry for arcane
should be it.
secrets? I have books, scrolls, potions, anything for friends of path-abiding magic.
You just can't depend on those sailors. How long do they expect me to wait for my shipment?
That should be it.
If it's clam and fish you seek, then come and take a good long peek.
Seas.
Nice rumor.
Shit! Get away from there! Now! By the prophet's ass! 1 second later and I would have been scraping your remains off. What in blazes are you doing here anyway? Let's put it this way. I know how to hide when I get a little too close and wait a little too long, and you'll have your ass blown around your ears by an explosion that would put any cannon to shame. Lashiri? Oh my. The fellow really isn't one for names, is he? I'm Lashari, but anyhow, I hope you're not the backup I asked for. I was hoping for someone... Indeed. Very well. But it'll have to wait. Short version or long version? Which do you prefer? Fine. I suppose you already know that is me. But as I went upstairs to get something a couple hours ago, I suddenly heard... I have no idea. Anyway, fact is, my esteemed... And before you ask, yes, I wouldn't have a chance fighting the mercenaries by myself, but the two of us might be able to do it, provided you can defend yourself. Oh, that's hard to explain. But after we've cleaned up the mess, we can do this whole, who are you and what are you doing here thing. No idea. But I don't think there are more than a dozen. Also, they don't anticipate any resistance, which is to our advantage. Fine, then follow me. And keep your weapons ready. I think I just heard footsteps down. What in blazes are you doing here? Anyway.
Shit, you were right. Get them.
Stabbed like a pig. Hang on. What's this? By the prophet's ass. I don't believe it. They're orders. My assistant, Sev. It seems he's the reason these fuckers managed. Save it for Sev when I shove this staff up his ass and... Shit, can you smell that? That's fire. We have to do something. If I'm right, the mercenaries are trying to destroy the stone fragments. And we have to stop them. I'll take the upper part. And when... Oh. And one more thing. If you should find my assistant Sev down there, try to take him alive and bring him to me. I want to take care of him myself. Okay? Then let's get going.
Speak praise! Hey, over here! Help me! Damn, that was close. Those bastards just left me down here to die. Can you believe it? Everything I did. Oh, forgive me.
Well, I'll be damned. That's what I call good timing. I take it you were successful? What about the fragments? Did you... all of them? Call me a pregnant Lyran. You... What about Sev? Did you find him? Fuck. That little shit. Well, what's your name, anyway? Amidst all this, you're pleased? I actually had the feeling that I was a little... Anyway, for starters, tell me how you managed to get... That doesn't happen very often. I've got time. Uh-huh. So, you're saying that you learned all this? The magic, the swordplay, and these visions? If I understand correctly, it does indeed. And even better, now you tell me that these skills come from... Shit. Not you, sorry, I mean... But no, that would be crazy. Well, I'd like to speak freely, but... However, I will tell Constantine and old Aranthe... Then we'll be in a position to really kick ass. Anyway, hold still for a moment. Ready? Alright, let's do this. Don't worry, it'll just take a look. Fuck! Are you alright? That wasn't on purpose. Really. Oh my. I have no idea what just happened. Maybe this has something to do with the strangeness of your aura. It's hard. But hey, I'm probably just out of practice. Your fever will now settle down to an and now I suggest you return to Constantine. You need anything else? If not, see you later. We're going to meet again. Well, put simply, they're supposed to protect us. But take care. Huh? Go see Constantine in Ark. I'll see you back at the temple.
Yes. Yes, that just might work.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Now, if it isn't the prodigy, well...
Yes, that just might work.
Yes, I know. But I'll leave the judgment to Aranthiel. He wants to talk to you anyway. Seems you've caught his interest. Didn't I tell you that already? He's the highly esteemed, holy Grand Master of the Order. Tilor Aranthiel, son of Lorius I, in the Emporium, the last building on the left side of the... Ah yes, before I forget. My dame Lucy has left a token of gratitude for you. It's your choice. Do you want a book? An old map? Very well. I'm sure we'll talk again later.
Wait, so you're saying he was no builder by blood, and yet made it to their commander?
Yes, because he was a pragmatist. Whatever was necessary to gain him influence and power, he did it.
Pathlessness.
You know the
Wherever
kind of
you
person.
look, where is this supposed?
Transcribe verse 80 100 times. The sky can rain fire. Majesty's never change.
Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor, in life as in death.
Well met.
It is a suspicion, Tila. And to send an entire division across the sea because of a suspicion is madness.
We need to find out who sent the mercenaries. This Pegast said that they were after the Signet Stone, and if they succeed in getting hold of it next time, then the Black Guardian alone knows how to stop the cycle.
Who are you?
Listening to you talk almost makes me forget that all this fuss here is merely based on some bad dreams you and your Neremese friends had.
The threat is real. Deny it as much as you like, but deep inside, you feel it as much as I do.
Tila, you're a commander, and a commander doesn't care about feelings, but about facts. You have made this mistake before, Tilor, back then in Kira. And we
Natara,
all know
the mission will happen. I'm sorry.
you have a visitor.
So, you are the I am Tialar Aranthia, son of Lorius I and Grandma. Yes. You are here because I believe that you are special. Among other things, yes. I do not need to explain to you that the present situation on Vin is chaotic. The wars, the living dead, common people who are losing their minds. What most people are not aware of is the connection between these events. I do. And I will explain everything to you. What it means, who we are, and what your part in all of this is. Come, follow me. Maybe you already know who I am. My entire life, I served the gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not know is that the one responsible for their death is my son, Narazul Aranthial. He hated the light because he believed that they robbed mankind of their right to freedom, so he strived to overthrow them. He found followers, formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well. It all ended in a battle 30 years ago, which Narazul won. He killed every single survivor except for me, and locked me in a dungeon on Nerim. I still do not know why he spared me. There were circumstances favoring the development. But it's a long story, which we won't... Good question. Because at the moment, stability is the highest good. Even the rulers of Kira and Kile both made the mistake to acknowledge the death of the gods to their people, and the civil wars that followed in their countries are evidence of the chaos that such a revelation entails. Enderal is the cradle of the Order of the Gods, the epitome of theocracy. It is unthinkable what would happen if we confirmed these rumors. I am sure you understand this. Maybe when all this is... Yes, after more than 30 years, when the death of the gods made the magic around the prison disappear. And during... I always saw the same glaring, terrible light. Heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside. And above all, the veil. There was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these screams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died. Yes, but he did not recognize me, and brought me to their headquarters instead. Maybe because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had... Still, even after my the dreams continued. At first, I doubted my sanity, but after some time I told the lead... Constantine about them. And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not open. He, as well as many others, magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And the more we talked about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth. The dreams, they come from the collective. I know that you can feel it too, and probably far more intense than we do. The Pyreans. 3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their existence, they simply disappear without any trace. And third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching its end. Not identical, but one can split them up into... Yes, dramatically put, they're the envoys of the end. Yes, it does. But there came a moment when we began to study the history of the Pyreans more intensely, and the parallels were extraordinary. In its early days, the Pyrean Empire was split up by a disaster, just like Vin was split up by the Starfall. Also, the Pyreans had a ruling caste who declared themselves gods after the catastrophe. The 2 castes of the Sun Priest. They, too, ruled, and then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased to exist. They knew it was imminent, but they could not prevent it. They tried, but they failed. Who knows why? That is the question we need to find an answer to. The end, even though there was war in the Pyrean Empire before its ruin, when the cleansing happened, it was as if all living beings simply fell down and died. It is ghastly. Well, this is the reason why we need your help. Not only episodes of history recur within... Yes. The Pyreans call them the emissaries. They emerge very shortly. While I take on the role of the ruler, you take on the role of the prophetess. It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, it is the truth. Your story yes. Former enemies or not, both sides have understood the magnitude of the threat. The magical knowledge of Narazul's former, I do not know. Firespark the mage, so maybe everyone can become an emissary. Or we simply have not understood the pattern. No, As I already said, the emissaries simply appear at the beginning of the end, like pieces on the one hand, your power. You carry the potential to master any skill within a fraction of the usual time needed. I assume you have already realized this. On the other hand, your ability to look into the past, and therefore, your visions are a window into the past. You can feel the thread this world is woven with. And because of that, you can see things that have happened, and thus will happen. That is the wrong question. The correct question is, what alternative do we have? To wait? If it is wealth and power you seek, you will have it. The Order has enough of both. Hollow words. Deep inside you know your responsibility. Trust me, we are more alike than you believe. Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. I want you to join our Order. It is. Whatever you think about it, if you want to be part of our mission, you need... There will be voices in the Order speaking against your admission, as they are speaking against the presence of the... It is the trial the novices have to pass in order to be exalted to the role of a keeper. Only the best student... At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way to the testing grounds. I have only a slight acquaintance with them. However, I know that they are both very talented. I had a hunch. Let us leave it at the border to the Heartland, near the Whisper Wood. They will be waiting for you. Ah, one more thing. It might be so. I do not believe you can do any real harm. But in the worst case, after the cycle has been stopped, we will deliberate upon how we deal with the matter. If and how we... No, leave. The sooner we can dispense with this form, we are part of an eternal loop, a cycle. And our cycle is approaching its end. Walk blessed, prophetess. Yes. Why do you ask? They did. What are you getting at? A fair point. But in the... So, yes, my time in the prison. Ironically enough, that was the last thing I had expected, you know. For me, it was memories of the time before. They reminded me that I was more than this deprived creature. I especially felt that in the cloister with Narazul's mages. I had difficulty talking to other people, and whenever I did, it felt as if the others were like... better. Our mission, my responsibility. What would have been the alternative? A life as... In fact, this is precisely what is missing in the world. People who do not let the whims of fate break their resolve. Yes? That depends on whom you ask. A better word would be chess figures with their own will. Whatever force causes the cycle, also... No. Well, that is something else we only know in broad strokes. Yours is to read the echo and help us gain the knowledge we need for victory. I do not know. Good question. In their writing, the Pyreans say it has existed for aeons. Since this, the Pyreans didn't, and neither did. But as for what happened before that, our knowledge about the past is limited. All that matters for now is that the cycle threatens us. Yes? As I said before, my knowledge about that is limited. But if it... Yes. You know, most people perceive the dark corners of our mind. Bridges to which we in a conscious... A moment where you knew exactly what another person thought or would do next. People with close blood ties can especially feel that connection. Children and their mothers, siblings, and especially twins. Correct. And while most people hardly feel this connection at all, their bodies might be, but the traces they left behind still remain. This is the basic principle of magic. Visions, premonitions, dreams that become reality. These are all leftovers of waves from other eventualities that spill over into our reality. There have always been people able to read them, but not so good.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here. Let's hope. Let's hope he knows.
Move
what he's
along.
doing.
Keep walking.
That's beyond me.
And I path
May his light guide you.
as in death.
Sky
You.
can rain fire.
Good to see
Magisters
you.
never change.
What?
Huh, the notorious prodigy. I was told you know a lot about swordplay. I'd love to see if there's any truth to that.
My Dame Delina. And I felt that. Well, seems the Grandmaster is crazy for you. So who am I to question his judgment?
Transcribe verse 80 100 times. The sky can...
fire.
They just sit on their asses. Huh? Can I... You again? I still can't believe this Chilean whore got away with the idol. One day she'll hang for what she did. danger. And I felt... Well, seems the grandmother.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't belong here.
Oh.
Keep an Outlander. What are you doing in this part of the city? Shouldn't you be, I don't know, somewhere else?
Huh?
Ahoy.
Huh, the notorious prodigy. I was told you know swordplay. I'd love to see if there's any truth to that.
Who are you?
As if they'd ever listen to me.
Pathlessness wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
Walk blessed.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You do not belong here. Thou art my light.
Magister
my
Carlos has been looking for you.
Carlos? Why's that?
I don't know, but I think it's about the tome he wanted you to transcribe.
As in death.
Ah, I thought... Well, never mind. By the
Are
way,
you?
have you seen this new Pyramise mage?
Yes.
Now, if it isn't the... But I'll leave the judgment to Aranthiel. Ah, yes. I'm sure we'll talk again later.
This is her round, Outlander.
Yes? Is it important?
It is a suspicion, Teela. And to send an entire division across the sea because of a suspicion is madness.
We need to find out who sent the mercenaries. This Pegast said that they were after the Signet Stone, and if they succeed in getting hold of it next time, then the Black Guardian alone knows how to stop the cycle.
The cycle. Listening to you talk almost makes me forget that all this fuss here is merely based on some bad dreams you and your Neremese friends had.
The threat is real. Deny it as much as you like, but deep inside, you feel it as much as I do.
Teela, you're a commander, and a commander doesn't care about feelings, but about facts. You have made this mistake before, Teela, back then in Kira.
Natara, the mission will happen. I'm sorry.
You have a visitor.
So, you are the prodigy ever. I am Teela. Yes, you are here because I believe that, among other I do, but most people are not aware of I do. And I will explain everything to you. What it means, who we are, and what your part in all of this is. Come, follow me. Maybe you already know who I am. My entire life, I served the gods who ruled Vin, until their death 2 years ago. What you probably do not know is that the one responsible for their death is my son, Narazul Aranthiel. He hated the Lightborn because he believed that they robbed mankind of their right to freedom, so he strived to overthrow them. He found followers, formed an army and declared war on them, and thus on me, a servant of the Lightborn as well. It all ended in a battle 30... Yes. I always saw the same glare of the light. Heard screaming, and I felt like I was burning up from the inside. And above all, like a veil, there was the knowledge of imminence. At first, of course, I dismissed these dreams as the delusion of a man close to death. So I concentrated on making it through the mountains somehow. 2 days after my escape, I was completely exhausted, and I would have died if a former acolyte of my son had not found me. Yes, but it may be because they thought that the death of the Lightborn had made me insignificant. I do not know. Still, even after my recovery, the dreams continued. I doubted my sanity. But after some time, I told the leader of the mages, Constantine, about them. And he said something that I'd never expected. I was not alone. He, as well as many others, magically gifted on Vin, dreamed the same dreams. And the more we talked about the matter, the stronger our suspicion grew, which has now turned out to be the truth. The dreams, they come from the collective. I know that you can... The Pyreans. 3 things. First, there were many civilizations before us and before the Pyreans. Maybe hundreds, maybe thousands. Second, the history of each civilization unfolded and still unfolds according to a pattern. They emerge, they blossom, and at some point, at the apex of their existence, they simply disappear without any trace. And third, everything that has happened in the past years, and which is still happening, indicates that this disappearance lies ahead of us. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle, and our cycle is approaching. I see why you... But there came... We began to... Oh, and then, just like that, the Pyreans ceased. Well, this is... Yes. While I take on... It's just a description. Call it what you will. But without doubt, on the one hand, on the other hand, you're a bit... Your vision... You can feel the thread this world is woven with. And because of that, you can see... Good. However, there's one more thing before the actual work begins. It is the trial. At this very moment, 2 novices are on their way at the... one. I do not believe you can... After the cycle... No. We are part of an eternal loop, a cycle. And our cycle is approaching its end.
This is holy ground, Outlander. You don't
Huh? Now look at that. Someone who's actually interested in us as people, rather than in our knowledge about the Pyreans. But, Arizalian brandy. Vintage, 8214. What do you say? A glass? Alright then. When I hear you say that, I don't regret for a second that I never came back to Ostian. Even though I've thought about it from time to time. Wow! Finally, someone who says it up front. Yeah, I've got some Scarag blood in me, though my grandfather, he used to serve in the South Realms Marines. And one day they captured a ship of Scarag raiders, some of them women. Stories say he fell in love with one of them, and yeah, you can connect the dots. Though we fled the city around 10 years ago. The temple was always a bunch of fanatical fuckheads, but that bastard High Priest Janus gave the word butcher an entirely new meaning. I know, and nah, I hardly know anything about her. Only you should have seen how people reacted to the way I looked. Even as a kid, they always looked at me and my almond-shaped eyes as if they were expecting me to pull out a skull fetish any second and start putting curses on anyone in the vicinity. Maybe. Warriors of the Creator. War against the infidels. The Creator's children don't even sugarcoat how and still, so many people join. Don't think for yourself anymore. Let someone else do it for you. At least it was for my brother. I had. He was about 15 years older than me, and was always a troubled drapers for generations. The best in Ostian. I suppose that's why my father expected so much from Rakul, since I, as a woman, wouldn't have been allowed to But Rakul, he just wasn't made out. I can't remember how often father told him that he was a disgrace to the family. You can call it that, yes? Look, he spent almost all of his time in the temple after his conversion, and knew the entire Rania, their holy scripture. Well, and one day, he announced that simply attending the masses wasn't enough anymore. He would join the temple's warriors. Damn right. That's what these bastards do. And once that's done, they send them to fight for their holy causes. In other words, their own interests, like, I'm sorry, my dame. Your youngest son just died. But don't worry, he's in a better place. Now, do you have any other neglected children? Damn it, I hate those bastards. I just hate them so much. He was slaughtered, hacked into pieces by Chancellor Baratheon's cavalry. That was before the peace treaty. I'd be surprised if they taught him what end of a lance to stab with before they sent him into the field. But, well, I guess that answers the question. Creator, Lightborn, the Great Spirit. Same shit, different name. And you know... Anyway, it was good talking to you. but I'm dying for a nap. Take care.
Potato, like radish. Yeah.
In the shackles of rust, presented by the poets. Once I stood amidst the sea, before the wolves of ancient times. Oh yes! Sensual and sweet as sin, where bodies touch.
Walk blessed, friend. Where are you headed?
None of your business.
Yes? Oh, I hope you're aware of what you're getting yourself into. In other words, it will be dangerous. Be aware of that. How self... then it seems I'm granted the extraordinary honor of exalting the first pathless in the history of the... Give me the package the Grandmaster gave you, and say hello to your new comrades. I have to go prepare something.
What? Oh, hello. You're our unexpected addition, aren't you? The Prodigy? It does, actually. I'm Kalia Sakaresh. By my path, novice and I have been told what you did in Old Rashengrad. That you saved the... An astonishing feat, truly. You have my respect for that. I know, but you tried. You know, I'm really curious as to what the mercenaries thought they were doing. Anyway, it's been an honor to meet you in person. Let's talk later.
I don't want to hear it. You're prattling. I don't want to hear it. Just shovel. You have to ask. This country is going downhill. Then mercenaries are hired, and now you. We've trained for years to stand here, and until now, I thought that this country respected its traditions. That's my problem. Now get out of my sight.
All right, enough of the chatter. Come here. Here. These potions will be necessary later, so be careful with them. Apart from that, it's still a few miles to the ritual place. As you're all gifted with magic, the spores in the forest ahead will make you a little dizzy, but we won't stay for long. Any questions? Long story. Simply... So, in case you're thinking about exploring further, take some magical protection and some ambrosia with you. Good. Stay close to me. But it's too late for that now. Korek would have conquered the city. Then you will be ashamed.
Not now.
Keep walking. Keep...
Huh? Oh, did you now? Okay, look, you're very... Tealor always had a fondness for those kind of things, but
So
I'm
this
not
is the
really
Whispering
one for all
Forest.
that. So,
Fascinating.
let's keep going.
I've read a lot about it, but never actually seen it.
Poor thing. My brothers and I have seen it countless many times before. But I bet you know...
Get ready!
Use rat holes instead.
Focus, Kali. Focus.
What? That's all you got? Wait, do you see that?
Yes, that man. What is he doing?
Who cares? He's probably just a traveler.
He shouldn't be here. No merchant in his right mind would voluntarily travel through the Whispering Forest. We'll go take a look at him. Stay ready.
She's with me now. Forever.
Kirash!
What in? You there? Who are you? And what are you doing here?
She's with me now. Forever.
What are you, deaf? Identify yourself!
His eyes. Master, this is the Red Madness.
Shit, of course. You will put away that pickaxe right now, my sir, and then get on your knees.
She wanted to leave. Don't you understand? She wanted to leave me. Just like that.
This is
But now,
disgusting.
She will stay. She promised.
By the righteous path! Have you lost your mind?
I could ask you the same thing, damn it! Did you forget what Magister Yarrow did to the novices? This man could have attacked us at any moment.
Oh, really? Malphas protect us from your cunning. But did the thought ever cross your mind that one needs to understand a disease in order to heal it? And that some apothecary might have given their left hand for a living patient?
You're not being fair, Master. I was only protecting us.
Like heck you did. You behaved like an idiot. And not for the first time. The other masters might ignore that fact due to your religious commitment and your bloodline. I get that. But if something like this ever happens again, you will be suspended from the rites and will spend the rest of your life polishing prayer banks in the sanctum. Do I make myself clear?
He really was trying to protect us, Master. Maybe...
Do I make myself clear?
You do, Master. And I beg your forgiveness for my offense.
Granted. Now let's push on. We will take care of the body after the ritual.
Are you okay?
Just save it.
Here it is, the first foot. This is where Malphas's vassals erected their first camp, so behave yourselves accordingly. You too, prodigy. Well then, before we start, there's something I need to tell you. Something, important. The rumors concerning the deaths of the Lightborn, they're true.
What?
The gods are dead. They fell 2 winters ago, beneath the sword of an unknown traveler. We, that is, the Order, have known about this for quite some time now, but haven't told the common people yet. But since the 3 of you intend to take the trial, there's no way to disguise the truth anymore.
But how can a god die?
There was a prophecy, as old as the Lightborn themselves, in which there was talk of a shadow god, who would end the era of gods. And it came true. I'm sorry.
You're sorry?
You're telling us that the gods have been killed, and you are sorry. What's next? That tomorrow the sun will stop shining? Tell us that this is a test, Master. It is, isn't it? A test of our faith.
No, the Lightborn are dead. But, hard as it may be to accept, we cannot afford to fall into a spiritual crisis right now.
The Order of the Gods, Malphas's order, was created to protect the Lightborn. And if what you're saying, this blasphemy is true, then we're meaningless. We failed, don't you see that? Oh, by the Black Guardian, I just can't believe it.
And though I shan't be seen, thou shalt live by my virtue. 3rd Revelation, verse 137. I know it's hard, Dunwar, but if this is true, we have to show strength and keep on believing in what the Lightborn stood for, which is the idea of peace and...
Oh, just shut your mouth, Sakaresh. If anything, you lowborn scum are living proof that the Order is going downhill. Do you really think I don't know about the village? You're a damned witch, and if this were the old times, you would have been crucified long time ago.
You don't mean that, Dunwar.
Drop it, for heaven's sake! We're all on the same side here.
No, we are not. This wench doesn't have any right to wear the white robes. And if you would spend more time with the Holy Scriptures instead of your brandy bottle, you would see it as well. But no, you just...
Shut up! I swear to you, one more word and you will wish that I just suspended you.
But...
No buts! Do you understand?
Yes.
I hope so, for your sake. Just be glad that this is a time when we need skilled mages more than ever. Just be glad. Now enough of this. Our demeanor defiles this sacred place. There will be enough time for depression and personal crisis after the trial. Let's recite the holy words. Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor. In life as in death. May your light guide me. Good. As you know, this trial will test the fortitude of your spirit. Because this is what distinguishes a keeper from a soldier. What distinguishes a wise man from a fool. Keep that in mind. Now, drink the potion I gave you. You first, Prodigy. Let's hope the Grand Master was right about you.
Oh no. 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 They've lured you into a trap, you know. And you fell for it. Because you're arrogant. I know I'm not real. But then again, if I told you that you and your friend Sirius actually lie dead at the bottom of the sea, the answer is no. Because... doesn't it? Tell me, what is time? A self-created sanctuary built from nothing but your wishes. But what's the point in talking anyway? What? They haven't told you about him? Oh, that's so typical. The Suppressor. He's the reason why we... And... You know, sometimes I wonder if that's exactly what we humans... But no. No, not yet. It's too early to surrender. And isn't that what makes us human, anyway? To hope? And to just keep on waiting for that... Yeah, I'll wait. And... What the? How did you do that? You... Come on. This is so wrong. And right. I know we can't escape, but to just have a glimpse outside. The Suppressor will understand. So cold. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea to go. After all, I mean, yeah. Yes, the cell is full. At least it's safe. This will be our doom. Oh no. No. Do you see it? All the cells. They're all empty. And there's blood. Oh no. There were people in there just like us. They didn't know their place either, and now they're dead. They've simply dissolved. Because they dared to disobey the Suppressor. By the gods. This is what will happen to us too. I knew it was a mistake to leave in the first place. I just knew it. No! Can't you see? We're back where we... What? Suppresses punishment. It will be horrible. No, you haven't. Because you're... But I should have known. I mean, what can you expect from someone who has killed his entire family? No, there isn't. Just look at us. Look at what we... Of course I'm a part of you, and you are a part of me. Isn't that obvious? But I should have known you wouldn't understand. So you figured it out? Yes. I am what keeps you in this place. But was it blind rage that made you act, or have you truly understood who I am? Have you understood what drives you and determines your actions? The salt corrodes your skin, and the water filling your lungs is cold. But you still haven't found it, child, have you?
Oh, hey. Good to see you awake. How are you feeling? Good question. The room was empty when I came here. Actually, that's a bit, probably a ceremony or something like that. Now, tell me, how are you holding up? I heard this trial's quite the feat. Apparently, some of the novices never wake up again. In the temple, the curarium, to be precise. You were brought here when you were traveling with that Ixen guy. I think the others are... I mean, hey, you are a keeper of the first sigil now, aren't you? I believe congratulations are in order. Well, you shouldn't. Do you know why? Because you're pathetic.
I said you are pathetic. At first, we believed it would be more exciting this time. But now that we've seen the new prophet, our hopes are gone. You're a...
Huh?
A nobody who let his only friend kick the bucket.
As if you'd ever accept that. You humans are always so damn persistent, aren't you? Why? Why can't you just let go?
Because in the end, you are powerless, just as all those before you. And you, prophetess, you are the biggest joke of all.
You are nothing but an urchin.
A weakling.
And a murderer.
And that is why you will burn. All of you. The cleansing will happen, and there's no... Here's the world is an interplay of cause and effect, and the only... But enough of the banter. Urge. Now wake up.
Thank Malphus. I was starting to think I was the only one. How are you? You look exhausted. Of course, sorry. But it's good to see the Grand... I woke up just a few hours earlier, and he was here in the meantime. He didn't... But I suppose mutual congratulations are in... Almost, yes. All that is left... Speaking of whom, he also told me some things while you were asleep. This is so bizarre, really. Hard to say. I never had those dreams but then again, I always had the feeling that the Red Master... At least now I can understand why the Grandmaster was willing to break all the traditions of the Order just to get you exalted to be a keeper. According to him, yes, I believe that. It's a great responsibility you've been... Well, as I said, we both have to take the holy oath. You should talk to the Grandmaster as soon as you're ready. Right. Dunwar. The apothecary examined him about an hour ago, and it doesn't look good. It's likely that No, in spite of everything. You know, Dunwar was one of those people who tried to... The reality is that he was the last of his bloodline, and his faith in the path and his destiny as a keeper were all that he had left. But I guess Master Bartar's revelation was just too much for him. It's hard to be told that everything you've lived for was a lie. Well, maybe I just don't show it. But yes, in a way, you're probably right. I suppose that's mainly due... Funny that the Grandmaster said nearly the same thing during the exaltation. Dunwar would have considered it blasphemy. That's true. A lot of crimes were committed during the Lightborn's reign, and I imagine you're the king of a small island. The invasion catches you completely off guard, and within a few hours, will you use the time that remains to entrench your army within the city's wall? Or do you send them into the field to fight the Reavers there, knowing that there is only a slight chance to save the farmers, but a big risk that you will lose both the city and the farmers? It would, yes. But what if your foray fails, and ends up being the reason why this... What I'm trying to say is, if your attempt to rescue the farmers fails, you will be accused... Of course, there's a small chance the foray might work, but as I said, I don't mean to absolve the Lightborn of their crimes. But I'd wager... I suppose the answer depends on whether you're in the mood for some gloomy talk. Sooner or later, you'll hear it from someone else anyway, so... As you wish. Where should I start? I wish I knew. What I do know, though, is that it was dark, and I eventually found the strength to get up and look around, and... Well, there were corpses everywhere. Men. Whatever it was, I didn't have much time to think about it. One of them got off his horse, ran towards one of the corpses, and started... By the name of the sun, it's strange to talk about it like this. It's been... Well, it turned out the riders were hunters who had... They must have observed whatever it was. The reason they thought I was somehow involved is that apparently I was wearing torn clothing, and no matter what the apothecary tried, he couldn't wake me up from my comatose sleep. And for you, maybe. For them, as simple people, it was probably the best explanation they had. They leave to go hunting, and when they come back, they find their village in ruins with that foundling child being the only survivor. Probably. Truth be told, I try not to think. I even made it to Ark all by myself, which didn't turn out to be much. Yes. Thinking about it now, I actually wonder how I... Still, the winters down there were cruel, and if Master Tyrus hadn't found... Yes, he saw me, and he knew what he had to do, is how he put it. Of course, the Order wasn't too happy about a pathless child in the Scuola, just as some aren't happy about you being here. But Tyrus was a highly regarded man, and that's why they let it slide. It does, yes. So maybe I was some kind of substitute. I don't know. But that's right, we do. But we are both still pathless. And that is... I guess now you understand why I was never as connected to Malthus's teaching as Dunwar was. To some of the Keepers, I am still an outcast. Yes. Well, here we've reached the end of my impressive tale. I hope you liked it. No, I guess I'm not. Gone. He was very old, and there was nothing anyone could do about it. But he does. One of those hunters recognized me in the market my first year as a novice, and you can imagine that it was easy picking. From then on, they added names to the derogatory stares. Demon Child, Witch, whatever they could come up with. Yes, maybe. You know what's funny? To some extent, I'm glad to be who I am. Several. But I'd say that's enough of the gloomy stories, don't you think? There will be plenty of time for chatter in the future. Maybe. Yes. All of the Dalmordans fell victim to the great flesh maggot plague of... Actually, it was almost sad to see him running around and boasting about his nobility, though everyone knew that without the help of the Order, he would... If you can call that living. You should. It's already late, but if you want, I can show you the most important places in the temple before you go to the Emporium. Good. Then get your gear from the chest by your bed and we'll go. All right, let's go. Yes? All right, this is the sanctum. It's a place of silence and prayer, and also where we'll be exalted later.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Pathless knows wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
My light, my glimmer at the horizon.
Walk blessed.
Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor in life as...
A place of silence. Walk in, everyone fucking talking. My name?
Walk blessed.
What? You mean the living dead, the Watirs everywhere, the frenzied civilians? I'd say this country has seen better times.
Okay, I think you've seen this place before. We call this part of the temple the Chronicum, and in here is gathered the knowledge of the Order, written down in books and parchments. Plus, all of the experiments and research on artifacts and magic is done here. So it's a place you'll probably see often in the near future. Ah, and just below the Chronicum is the temple smithy. You should go there if you need equipment. Over there, that's the Scuola and the quarters, where both the keepers and the novices live. There's also a training room where everything from swordplay to marksmanship can be trained and taught. You will find some skilled teachers there. Well, I think that's about it. You've already been to the Emporium, and I assume to the Eye of the Gods. Prepare myself, probably. Now walk blessed. I will see you soon. Yes?
And you actually believe this could work? It sounds absurd.
I don't believe I know. The mercenary, he might not be the shining knight of Castle Starsound, but he's better than most of your men. I want him, and you will need to convince your true Chesser of it.
Is that so? Very well, I will convince her. You will hear from me.
hope so.
Prophetess, good to see you. How do you feel? Good. In any case, all that is left to do now is to recite the oath. Then we will finally none of it, you'll see. The ceremony needs, even if it hurts to lose more time. The cleansing approaches, I can feel it. Just this people I knew, including you. But these people, I believe that these beings are connected to the cycle. You did? It must be related to our roles as None. Maybe they are demons or... In any case, if they are indeed responsible for the cycle, they are our enemies. That's what matters for now. Come back tomorrow for the ceremony.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
Yes. That a better word would be no.
80, 100 times.
Well, yours is to read the echo. Good question. In the Pyre. But as for what happened before that a better word would be chess figures with their own will. Whatever force causes the cycle
This is holy
also
ground,
gave
Outlander.
us powers
You don't
and
belong
a
here.
task. But fulfilling that task is our own responsibility.
That's beyond me. That's beyond me.
Who are you?
Pathlessness.
It is time.
Phew!
Come forward, prophetess.
There you are. Here, a letter for you.
I know what you are feeling. Mistrust.
What?
For it is
Thank
the first
you.
time in the
Safe
history of the
travels,
Order,
and may his light guide
stranger
you.
will receive the holy consecration. You consider...
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead? Oh, yes, it makes sense.
Phew! Here, a letter for you. What? Oh, thank you. Safe travels, and may his light guide you.
Ah, there you are. Glad you made it. So, how was it? I heard quite some stories about this trial, and was never sure what to make of it. Yeah, come, let's go upstairs. It'll be worth it. There we are. Wait, so wine or pipe? Termatralian brandy. A real treasure. Consider it a congratulatory gift for passing the trial. Nothing better than a good pipe and a nice sight to go along with it. It's always sad to see how few people can truly appreciate these things. Anyway, tell me, fair lady, what is it that drives you? I've been asking that myself since we met, not to mention the danger you put yourself in. Securing the excavation site, passing the trial, they certainly haven't been easy on you so far. Makes... In any case, it's interesting to see how you've got... Kind of reminds me of a woman I used to travel with. We got hired for the same job. Usually I work better on my own, but this partnership was... which is why we decided to... She just cared too much, you know? Yeah, as you can imagine, that doesn't always work out in my profession, and whenever it didn't, she really took it to heart. It was sad, if you think about it, really. We traveled together, and we had sex, so yes, according to most people's definition. That was... let me think. About... She fought as ardently as she lived. I don't know how I would have survived that fight without her. Oh, several reasons. First of all, she was primarily a traveling healer, and used the money she got... She wanted to help people, yeah, but she also wanted to make well, we were simply... too different. I guess that's what it comes down to. Let's face it, I'm a pathetic white knight. And an even worse world savior. Alicia and I, we were just bound to clash. We were lovers, then friends, then lovers again, and so on and so forth. Ultimately, that was just too much for me. Too extreme. Too absorbing. Love as she defined it, yeah. Had it been for her, we would have married after that first... That's a long story. Not one that puts me in a favor... Split up, but anyway. Enough about me. What about you? Has there ever been someone in your life? Or have you always been the lone wolf? Oh my, is that how you think of me? Can't... But jokes aside, I think I know what you're trying to say. Samara? No, maybe the entire thing with Alicia was enough for me. Love, love, love. People have such lofty expectations these days, really. Sometimes I think it would help us all to admit that there isn't that much that separates us from the apes. And I can hardly imagine that a woman like you doesn't have 100 options to choose from. Oh, come on, that's just corn. You see, this is exactly what I meant with the... We're here, we get along, and we're having a good time. Why don't you tell me a little more about this trial? I heard you passed it together with that quiet girl. That's just life, I think. There comes a point when you've done all you can. My. We've certainly lost track of time, haven't we? I really need to hit the hay for a couple hours now. I'll have to go look for some new work tomorrow. And I've heard about a nobleman who's looking for a sellsword. That is, if Arenthiel or old Bushybeard doesn't have a new job for me by then. Say what you want about them. Their pay is beyond generous. I'll see you around, fair lady.